Beyonder versus the One Above All, who would win? One is a being once described as millions of times more powerful than the entire Marvel Multiverse combined. The other is the supreme creator of everything that has ever existed in Marvel Comics. One sought to understand desire. The other is the source of creation itself. This is not just a battle. This is a question of ultimate authority. This is Pre-Retcon Beyonder versus the One Above All, the ultimate power debate. Today, we're diving into the highest level of Marvel cosmology to answer one question: is the Beyonder stronger than the One Above All? Or is this fight already decided before it even begins? Let's break it down. The rise of the Pre-Retcon Beyonder. To understand this clash, we must return to the original 1984 Secret Wars storyline. The Beyonder was introduced as a being from beyond the Marvel Multiverse, a realm completely separate from time, space, and reality as we understand it. And this was not exaggeration. The original Pre-Retcon Beyonder was portrayed as a being whose power dwarfed the entire multiverse. Not one universe. Not a collection of universes. The entire infinite structure of Marvel reality. He effortlessly transported heroes and villains to Battle World. He reshaped existence casually. He erased beings from reality without strain. When cosmic entities like Eternity and the Living Tribunal confronted him, their combined power was stated to be insignificant compared to his own. Let that sink in. The Living Tribunal, the embodiment of multiversal balance, was nothing before him. At one point, the Beyonder even destroyed death itself. He overpowered cosmic abstracts as though they were minor inconveniences. His presence was portrayed as something beyond hierarchy, beyond structure, beyond comprehension. He wasn't part of the multiverse. He existed outside of it. And if you stand outside the system, does the system even apply to you? That is the central question. Because if the Beyonder truly existed beyond the entire Marvel structure, then logically he would transcend everything within it. But this is where the debate becomes complicated. Who is the One Above All? Now we move to even deeper territory. The One Above All is not merely another cosmic entity. He is not simply the highest being in a chain of power. He is the creator of the chain itself. The One Above All is Marvel's supreme being, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. He is the source of all realities, all dimensions, all cosmic entities, and every law that governs existence. The Living Tribunal answers to him. Eternity exists because of him. Infinity, death, Galactus, all are manifestations within a creation that ultimately originates from the One Above All. In one iconic appearance, he manifested as a comic book creator, symbolizing that he represents the real-world authors behind Marvel itself. He is not merely inside the story. He is the author of the story. And that distinction changes everything. Because even if the Beyonder comes from beyond the multiverse, he is still a character written into Marvel's narrative structure. And anything written into existence has an author. Can Pre-Retcon Beyonder transcend the creator? This is where power-scaling debates truly ignite. Supporters of the Pre-Retcon Beyonder argue that he was originally intended to be above the entire Marvel multiverse. The comics described him as vastly superior to all cosmic abstracts combined. He was not bound by space, time, or dimensional limitations. If the Living Tribunal was inferior to him, and the Tribunal represents multiversal balance, then logically the Beyonder would transcend the cosmic order. But here is the critical issue. The One Above All is not part of the cosmic order. He stands above it. The Beyonder may have been portrayed as superior to the multiverse. But the One Above All is superior to the concept of the multiverse itself. He does not participate in reality. He originates it. Imagine a video game character claiming to be stronger than the entire game world. That may be true within the game's internal rules. But can that character be stronger than the programmer who coded the game? No. Because the programmer exists on a completely higher level of reality. The One Above All functions on that higher level within Marvel's framework. Even if the Beyonder exists outside the multiverse, he still exists inside Marvel's fictional construct. And the one above all exists as the ultimate author-level entity within that construct. You cannot overpower the source of your own existence. Transcendence within a system is not the same as transcendence of the system itself. The Beyonder may transcend dimensions, timelines, and cosmic laws, but those laws were defined by a higher narrative authority. He may stand beyond space and time. But he does not stand beyond authorship. There is a difference between being beyond creation, and being the reason creation exists. The Beyonder challenges structure. The one above all defines structure. The Beyonder bends reality. The one above all defines what reality is allowed to be. And that difference separates them, not by power level, but by definition. The final verdict, who wins? So now we reach the ultimate question. Pre-Retcon Beyonder versus the one above all, who wins? If we judge purely by in-story feats, the Beyonder appears unstoppable. He dwarfed cosmic entities. He shattered hierarchies. He was portrayed as something beyond comprehension. But the one above all is not evaluated by feats. He is defined by what he is. Omnipotence means unlimited power. Not greater power. Not overwhelming power. Not multiverse-shattering power. Unlimited power. And if a being is truly omnipotent, then by definition nothing can surpass or rival that being. The moment something challenges omnipotence, it was never true omnipotence to begin with. The Beyonder's power, while absurdly high, was still described in measurable terms, millions of times greater than the multiverse. That is still a quantity. The one above all operates beyond quantity. He is not millions of times stronger. He is absolute. Absolute authority. Absolute creation. Absolute control over narrative, structure, existence, and possibility itself. The fight does not end in a clash of energy. It ends in realization. Power within the system can never overthrow the source of the system. The Beyonder can erase universes. The one above all defines what a universe is. The Beyonder can overpower cosmic abstracts. The one above all defines what power even means. The Beyonder may stand outside the multiverse. But the one above all stands outside the very concept of Marvel's fictional existence. And that means there is no battle. No struggle. No contest. Only hierarchy. Final result, the one above all wins, absolutely, unquestionably, eternally, and without resistance. In Marvel's hierarchy, the Beyonder is among the most powerful beings ever portrayed. But the one above all is the creator. And the creator stands above all. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.